Mrs. Chandkor, an assistant professor of pharmacology working with Faculty of Pharmacy of RPIIT Technical and Medical Campus, Karnal. Today, in this video, I am going to share a brief information about anatomy and physiology of human ear. Human ear is an auditory sense organ. We hear environment sound through ear. So the anatomy of ear, it constitutes outer ear, middle ear and inner ear, and these are differentiated by these three different colors in this diagram. So let's talk about the outer ear. Except this outer ear or this auricle, rest of the structure of ear, it is encased in the petrous portion of temporal bone. If we talk about the auricle, this is a fleshy part of ear which is visible to our eyes. This is the helix of ear. This curved structure is called as helix, whereas this is ear lobe. This is also called as lobule. This is very richly supplied in blood vessels. The auricle continues and extends to the tympanic membrane in auditory canal. This is also a fleshy part of ear. Auditory canal contains numerous cells and ceruminous glands. Ceruminous glands are specialized glands or specialized sebaceous glands. Their characteristic feature is to secrete the cerumen, that is called as earwax. Earwax has a very important protective function as it contains many enzymes and immunoglobulins. It prevents environmental microbes, dust and foreign material to reach the eardrum called as tympanic membrane. So at the end of outer ear there is eardrum which is called as tympanic membrane, and this tympanic membrane is differentiating the middle ear from the outer ear. This is the eardrum. That eardrums continues with the ear ossicle. So these ear ossicle, this pink color you can see here, this is the middle ear, and middle ear contains ear ossicles. These are the three bones. These are malleus, incus and stapes. Malleus is hammer-shaped bone. It is forming a joint, that is movable joint with the incus, the head of the incus, whereas the foot process of the incus or the long process of the incus, it is forming a movable joint with the body of stapes. Stapes is the smallest bone of human body. As we can see here, stapes, it is forming a bond with the oval window. Here these are the footsteps of stapes. These three bones, they are joined together by ligaments. They are kept at a place with the help of ligaments and they are forming movable joints. Middle ear, it continues with the auditory tube. It is an air-filled cavity. Air in the middle ear comes from auditory tube. This auditory canal, it is around 4 cm long. Normally it remains closed, but at high altitude, like during speaking, during yawning, it opens and it lets air to flow in the middle ear. After middle ear, let's continue with the inner ear. Here we can see inner ear consists of the semicircular canals, vestibule and cochlea. Semicircular canals, they are anterior, posterior and lateral, whereas vestibule, and this is the cochlea. Cochlea contains the spiral organ. Spiral organ contains basilar membrane over which the hair cells or the cells on which the auditory receptors are present are located in the cochlear duct. So here in the cochlea, the cochlear nerve, the cochlear part of vestibulocochlear nerve runs. This is the 8th cranial nerve. So the cochlear part of vestibulocochlear run, it runs towards the temporal lobe through the temporal bone foramina, and it reaches the cerebrum where the hearing perception occurs. So let's talk about the temporal bone. So the roof as well as floor of the ear, it is encased in petrous portion of the temporal bone. So let's talk about the physiology of hearing. What ear is meant for? See, as I talked about this inner portion or inner ear, there is cochlea. Cochlea contain scala tympani, scala vestibule and scala media. Scala tympani and scala media. These contain a watery fluid called as perilymph, whereas scala media, it contains a watery fluid that is called as endolymph. Here we can see the semicircular canal. So the inner ear is called as labyrinth, that means maze. So the inner ear is called as labyrinth. So two types of fluids flow in inner ear, that are perilymph and endolymph. As I told you before, that endolymph flows in the cochlear duct, that is scala media. Fine. So how does perception of sound occur in our brain? So let's talk about that portion. Sound waves in the environment, they are captured by the auricle and they were transmitted in the narrow path to reach the tympanic membrane, that is eardrum. Due to the sound waves, the strike of sound waves will produce vibrations in the eardrum. Due to these vibrations of eardrum, the ear ossicles, which are malleus, incus and stapes, they will come in movement. So stapes, as I told you before, that stapes, its foot process are joined with the oval window. Due to the vibration of the tympanic membrane or eardrum, the ear ossicles, they will move as they are made up of movable joints. So the stapes, it will produce to and fro motion. So here, before reaching the inner ear, the waves were sound waves, but due to the to and fro motion of stapes, the sound wave will convert into the fluid wave. As I told you before, that inner ear, there is scala tympani, scala media and scala vestibuli. Scala media is filled with a perilymph, endolymph, whereas scala tympani and scala vestibule, they are filled with perilymph. So due to the conversion of this sound wave into fluid wave, most of the section of that fluid wave, it will be transmitted towards the endolymph in the scala media, and rest of the portion, it will be transmitted in the perilymph, that is scala tympani and scala vestibule. So here in the cochlear duct, there is presence of spiral organ which contains a basilar membrane. So the hair cells which are containing the auditory sense receptors are present over the basilar membrane. When the fluid waves come, they will stimulate those auditory receptors. So collectively they will produce a nerve impulse. That means cochlear nerve impulse. So the cochlear portion of vestibulocochlear nerve, that is 8th cranial nerve, it will be transmitted through the foramina of temporal bone towards the temporal lobe in the cerebral cortex, where the sound will be perceived. So I hope this video will be useful to you and you will find it informative. I request you all, please subscribe RPIIT YouTube channel and press the bell icon.